Then we got some smooth jazz songs. One song that kind of fits the fusion vibe is called 7, and we did it in like a really odd time signature. So instead of it being 4/4 like most music, we did it in 7/4 to give it a different feel. So then I got, the little Quiet Storm R&B song called Don't Worry About a Thing. And then we tried to be different too. I didn't want to sound too much like a typical smooth jazz album. I wanted to give it a different feel. So we got some kind of like, one of my songs is called Give It To Me. That's like a gospel hard-hitting funk song. Okay. Kind of surprises people because it's right in the middle of the record. So when they hear all this smooth stuff, all of a sudden track number 6 comes and kind of hits you in the face. Then I smooth you back out again. So I was just trying to, approach it from different, types of music and still try to maintain a consistency with it. And I think we did that with this record.
Cool. Tell us about the instruments you're playing. You got 2 different horns here.
Oh yeah, this is I've had this one for a few years. This is my alto saxophone. If you notice, it's like black nickel, so it's a little bit different. I got this from a company called saxophone.com out of Vegas. Plays really well. It's got a good feel to it. It's a little heavier than most saxophones because of the black nickel thing in there. So a lot of people see it and they're like, oh man, that's a beautiful instrument, but they don't realize it's slightly different than your average horn. Okay. And this bad boy here I've had for a long time. This is my favorite saxophone to play, my soprano. And it cracks me up, man, because it's still, people still look at this and they're like, so what's that Clara sax you're playing? Or what's that gold clarinet you got? And I'm thinking, no, this really is a saxophone. They're like, oh, I thought you played the clarinet. In fact, I did a gig one time and I played this exclusively. And I remember the lady was mad. She didn't want to pay me because she thought I wasn't playing the sax. She was like, I hired you to play saxophone, not the clarinet. So, wow. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. But this is my all-time favorite saxophone right now.
Cool. Yeah. Now, how did you get into the music business? Where did it all start?
As far as professionally goes, I went to the University of Denver, and I studied under some heavy cats out there, my professors, and that kind of got me professionally ready. I started playing with this band called Meadowlark Jivin' out of Fort Collins, which is like a Dave Matthews kind of a band. And then I just started gigging a lot. I started playing in R&B bands all over Denver, Colorado Springs, some hip-hop stuff. And then I distinguished myself a little bit locally by opening up for a lot of different artists. Like I opened up for the Shy Lights and Delphonics one night. Okay. Had the pleasure of playing with the Shy Lights on that same gig. Opened up for Dennis Edwards and the Temptations Review, Jeffrey Osborne, Nelson Rangel, another great jazz artist. Gosh, the list. There's quite a few people that have come through Colorado I've had the pleasure of working with. So that's how I got into the business professionally, just grinding, doing my thing locally, really.
Cool. Now, give us a hip-hop groove right quick that you may have played back in the day. Think on it for a minute.
Think on it for a minute.
Well, while you're thinking on it, I'll ask you another question. Okay. Why sax?
Why sax? I think it's because my uncle was a big inspiration to me. He was in the Fort Carson Army bands. He was an Army musician. Okay. But he played, when I was real small, and I kind of watched him grow up. And I sit in the room with him and listen to him practice all day. And that sound of the horn, I just kind of grew up with. My mother, when I was growing up, when I was a baby, she would put me to sleep to like Earth, Wind & Fire or Grover Washington Jr. records. Wow. To kind of get me to calm down. So I already had that sound in my head, So when band time came, I was about in 5th or 6th grade. It was natural, it was either saxophone or drums, and it just so happened that they had enough drummers. So I could have been in here playing drums, but they needed one more saxophone player to add that final slot. So I was like, okay, well, I might as well play the sax, and that's really how it happened. So.
Cool. And you got that hip-hop groove for us?
Man, I'm trying to think of something here. You put me on the spot. Oh, my goodness.
I tend to do that from time to time.
Only thing I can think of. Y'all might not even recognize this. Hold on. Yeah, I'll just play something. Let me just play something. Let's see. Well, this ain't hip hop, but y'all probably recognize this lady.
Yeah, we'll take some Jill Scott. We'll take some Jill Scott. It's golden. It's definitely golden. Well, thanks, man. And you're going to do one last song for us. And before you do that, tell us the websites that people can go to find out what's going on with Tony.
Okay. You can check me out at reverbnation.com, reverbnation.com/Tony Exum Jr. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Tony Exum Jr. Let's see. I'm on Twitter. And it's Mr. Exum Jr. So MisterExumJr. Please hit me up on Twitter because I'm brand new on it. So, and also you can find me on iTunes, Amazon, MP3.com, Napster, eMusic, and Zuni as far as the record. But primarily right now, Reverb Nation and Facebook are like my two main sites. I'm actually working on my upcoming website, which will be TonyXumJrOnline.com, and that'll be ready in July.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Cool.
Well, there you go. You got it right here on Hip Hop Connection. My man Tony Exum Jr. doing big things. Yes. The CD is called Finally, so go cop that right now and find out where he's going to be so you can be there as well. What you going to do for us right now?
I'm going to do the very first song that I ever released. This is a song called Sweet Conversations, and this is actually a remix that I did for the record. So,
well, cool, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank
Here
you,
it is right here on The Voice of America.
All right.